Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Life and Drawing Podcast. This is episode 32. Now, this may be a shorter episode, and the reason behind that is my 1 year old, recently turned one, is napping, but he's been napping for about an hour already. So the time frame will be dictated uh, by his wake up cycle. But anyway, in this episode, we're going to talk about cats or dogs, and why cats or dogs. Because I think it's one of those. I don't know. I don't know the surveys, but I think it's one of those popular discussion points of, what do you prefer? Cats or dogs? What's your preference? Do you prefer cats or dogs? And I think with cats, there are geez, my goodness, there are varieties with cats, just different kinds. And I'm talking, when I say this, I'm referring to domesticated cats. I think it's a given for dogs. Of course, you have, different canine families, wolves, the African wild dogs. I think hyenas as well. Yeah, and what is those other? Man, I can't think of their name. The other ones, they're almost look like a miniature. I didn't say miniature. They look like a smaller wolf. Man, I can't think of the name. Wow. What are they? I want to say, you see them a lot in California, but you see them all over. I think I've seen them here in Virginia as well. Well, you know what? I'm gonna randomly say the name because it's gonna pop into my head. So just remember that. Something random is gonna, I'm gonna just spit out something random, and then you'll know why. So, yeah, cats and dogs. What's your preference? I growing up, we had pets. We actually, I want to say, I think we started off with. Did we start off with like goldfish and stuff? I'm not sure what came first. I'm not sure. We had like a little aquarium type thing. If that came first. Yeah, I'm really uncertain about that. To be honest. But anyway, we had a variety of pets. I think even at one point we had a parakeet, and I think that was short lived. I don't even think like it died. I just think we ended up giving it away, or it was. It wasn't really that high maintenance, but it was just like an aquarium where you really don't get. Well, I guess with a parakeet, if it's trained, you can interact with it much more. You could actually hold it and stuff like that. You got to be careful. I wonder if it did it. No, I think a bird flew into our house. That's what happened. But you can interact with it more, unlike with an aquarium where it's just really feed, change the filter, change the water. It's you don't get a whole lot of activity. And as much as I like cats, you think that I would have like a mental reference drawing. Drawing a cat, particularly their face. As far as their body anatomy is concerned, I think I have that down. But their face, you know, it's. I'm just gonna do a generic, cutesy cat face. I don't think it's the right proportions. But so that's a scary looking cat face. I can't keep that. That's bad. But I am sketching, and so I just want to keep it true to me, just sketching. So, but I think it ought to be a little much bigger than that. I think that would help things. But yeah, I am definitely a cat person. I'm jumping ahead. Ooh, I jumped to the last point. First thing was preference. So I prefer cats, and the reason I prefer cats, in part, it is their temperament. They're just not always like super thrilled that you are around, and it's not so much that they don't care, as far as they don't care for you, but it's just like, all right, you're here, let's let's keep it moving. Yeah, it's like we don't need there's no need to throw a parade. You're here, cool deal. Yeah, where's my food, or where's my water? Let's let's talk about the essentials. And so, and honestly, that's what I really do dig about cats. They certainly, I was going to say they march to their own drum, but they don't march, because marching would give an indication of someone telling you what to do, and you following in line. But no, they walk, or I should say they strut to their own drum, their very own pace. It's about what they want, when they want, how they want. So that's what I like about second part of that question. That's what I like about cats. And I feel you really have to earn their love and affection and their loyalty. It's not like, unlike with dog, and we had many dogs as pets. I actually want. I think we actually had more dogs as pets than we had cats. I think we had cats. We had a much extended longevity with cats, unlike with our dogs. And so, the last pet we had was a cat, and we had to actually put her down. Yeah, that was really sad. Really hit my mom when my mom was still alive, because I was like a little companion. Because at this point, I have already moved to the States, and yeah, it was just my mom, and and that cat, and my dad was doing his own thing in another country, and so yeah, it was really that cat. I know it's gonna seem silly or lazy when I say the name of the cat. Her name was Kitty, and trust me, we give our animals different names, and many times because we're Haitian, we're Haitian, and so sometimes names that we gave, or in most cases, names that we gave our pets were like French or Creole base. So like one, and I'm jumping back around, but one of our cats we had, it was all white, and I think it had like a little black tip on its tail, and maybe a couple little spots on its paws, and we called him T Blanc, and so that's French. And in Creole, in English, is translated as little white. And I think we called him T Blanc because he was one. This cat looks so creepy. He was one that he was like a stray, and that was another thing too. We would get strays, stray cats, dogs, and oftentimes we'll nurse them back to health, and then they would just go. It was almost like we were like a little inn. They come in, battered, we nurse them back to health, and then they're like, thank you, deuces, and they be on their way. So, but I think T Blanc, he actually stayed. He was a little thing, man. And I think it was like raining outside or something like that, and we just heard this, yeah. And man, we got him, and I did the terrible mistake of putting him on a step ladder, about 4 feet off the ground, and I don't know if he was just terrified. I don't know if he was just like terrified, but he just dropped a watery diarrhea. But I guess how else diarrhea, the constitution of diarrhea, other than being watery? He just pooped diarrhea. And I was like, oh my goodness, what, this is inside the house. And I was like, okay, well, never doing that again. And so I had to clean that all up. And he would only drink milk. Like he wouldn't eat soft food, anything. It was just milk for a few weeks. And he got some more body mass. And then maybe like a quarter of soft food, cat food. And so anyway, so we nursed him to health, and we really had a connection with him because it was like a stray, battered, and we nursed him, and so yeah, we call him T Blanc because when he was like a kitten when we found him, so he was just this little white ball, wet, matted white ball of fur, and so yeah, we were like, hey, T Blanc, and so it's, I don't know, some names and stuff just sound better in a different language, because to say, hey, little white, I don't know that rings, I don't know that rings that well, I'm not even talking about like a conscious, whatever, social, whatever, you know what I mean? Because this is dang back in the late 80s, and so maybe early 90s. So that wasn't even a thing. PC stuff was, and particularly on the island too, out of the window. But yeah, it was just like T Blanc. And I think my mom came up with that name for him. But anyway, his arc was, he got older, and like I said, he would not want you to touch that little black tip at the end of his tail. It was so funny. You can pet him, and he's like just purring. That's probably a bad interpretation of a purr. And man, he's fine, and the minute you get down to his tail tip, he like scratches you inevitably. Like it was just given. It was like, yep, don't touch the end of my tail. So, But anyway, he was a little rascal, man, and he ran into the street, got hit by a car. Thankfully, he survived, but was just never the same. You know, you had to nurse him back. I think his hip either got broken or dislocated. So we had to, nurse him back to health. But he was just like psychologically, he was just not the same. Something happened. I mean, I say psychologically, and I don't know how that works with animals, but he just wasn't the same. And we definitely didn't want to like put him down or anything like that, because he got back to the point where he had mobility and stuff like that, um, but yeah, he just would not like. Sometimes he would just poop, or I don't know, he would just like freak out. You know what I mean? So I don't know if he had like revelation. Like I don't know if he had like PST. I mean, I don't even want to say that because I don't want to put it on that level with people who actually go through just like that human level, of PTSD. But it was something off with him, and so we didn't want to give him away or send him to the pound. We really couldn't give him away. We wanted to send him to the pound and then him to be put down. And so we just let him go. We drove. I don't even think I was there. I think my dad we took him, and they said, they opened up the door and he just ran out. Because like I said, like he almost like he got feral again, like after the accident. Like when we found him, he was a little kitten, and then we sort of domesticated him more, became more of a house cat. But then he got hit by the car, and it was just like, man, it just rewired his whole psyche, and he just almost like became feral again. And so yeah, story of T-Blanc. So you can see why this is a part one series, part one topic. Um, uh, and then, sorry, I wasn't trying to. I just getting caught up with just telling the story and just thinking about him, just picturing T-Blanc. Um, hmm. So yeah. Um, and but yeah, going back to Kitty. Man, I don't want this episode to be so dreary. Because really, a lot of the pets we had, man, a lot of it ended in death. Like we had two dogs. I mean, and these were I don't even know what the breed was, honestly, but he was just like big dogs, not like Great Dane big, um, almost more like a German Shepherd build. Close to maybe a Rottweiler build. We actually had a Rottweiler. Then that was crazy, and that was short lived. Praise Yahweh. I think that was only like for a month, and I was like, no, we're just gonna give this back to the person or whoever wants, because we got it like as a full adult, and that's a bad idea. If you're rescuing a dog, then I guess it's slightly different, But yeah, this Rottweiler, it was nuts. I felt like it wanted to bite my hand when I was about to feed it. It was always like this tug of war with, okay, who's the alpha, and me having to prove that, hey, I'm the alpha, and it wanting to dispute that. You know what I mean? I don't know. It was just one of those things where I was just like, I don't know if I'm I'm feeling this. Um, Drawing the anatomies made me think of Aaron Blaze, and if you don't know Aaron Blaze, he has his own, website, YouTube channel. I think it's The Art of Aaron Blaze. One of the leading animators behind The Lion King and many other animated films. So you can check him out. But I don't know, just thought came to my mind of him when I'm drawing, because he's a great. I mean, he's just a great artist. But when it comes to animal and anatomy and stuff like that, he's really a specialist in that in that realm. Of just animal anatomy. But yeah. Gee, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, these dogs, and man, and we fed. That was the crazy thing, you know what I mean? We were living like in a clapboard, and that's Caribbean talk, just like wooden, apartment, 2-bedroom apartment. But we would feed our animals like their actual food. It wasn't like table food. Um, Occasionally, if they wanted to, or like a snack type thing, but it wasn't like, oh, here's the scraps. We would buy like dog food, dry dog food, wet dog food, same thing with cats. So it was like a huge investment too. Like when we had our pets, I mean, it was just, they had life. But these dogs, just one of them, they would always go to this distant neighbor's house. I mean, when I say distant, I mean maybe like 50 yards from my house. But, when you live in a small community area, I mean, where houses are literally maybe, you know, I don't know, 10 yards away. You look through a window, you could see the, like you could spitball hit at someone's, you know what I mean? So this person's house is probably 50 yards away. Um, and they were just kind of weird, man. Like they would empty their raw sewage, and everyone knew, and people just wondered why. Like we had running plumbing, so we just was like, why they? We just we couldn't compute it. It wasn't like they were like strange folks, but they were strange folks. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like they were like creepy or anything like that. It was just we were like, man, why are you? Uh, anyway, to this day I don't know if anyone ever did anything or reported it or to health agencies, but 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 anyway, uh, what was I saying? Yeah, so the dogs went there and were yelling, be like, come back, you don't need to eat, because we didn't trust it, and lo and behold, one of the dogs got poisoned somehow, and we believe because it always went there. And these dogs were almost like they were like twins or whatever. And we just found it like stiff in our yard, and we're just like, man, oh wow, that's the 20 thing. Oh my goodness. I didn't really draw much. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just reminiscing. I'm just getting, just all caught up again with uh, the stories. Um, but yeah, it the other dog, and I don't know. I think one was male, one was female. I'm not sure if both were the same gender. Um, um, and so, uh, but after that, I mean, it really only took like maybe a week and a half, because the other dog, you could see it was depressed, and that too hit. There was like two of those deaths that really hit my mom, um, and but yeah, it just stopped eating as much as it would. It was just very despondent, and just one day, we went outside, and it was gone. It was just not there. Like, we just assumed it either ran away. We probably thought it probably ran away and maybe died. Or, you know what I mean? It's because it was so close. I mean, they were together. Like, we got them together, and from pups, man. And so that was sad, man. It was sad that the other one died, and it was just even more sad that the sibling just went away. And so, man, I'm really ending this thing on some sad notes. I'm not trying to give it eyebrows. I'm just trying to create some color. Almost looks like Garfield. Though I'm not trying to do Garfield. I don't want to get, you know. But yeah, and Kitty. I guess I'll make it quick. Kitty passed. She had jaundice, and so we had to put her down. Again, she was just not eating, losing weight, and yeah, that hit my mom pretty hard for 2 weeks. Yeah, because they become like family. We had Kitty for like 17 or 18 human years. So, so Kitty had a litter, and those cats went by, like they just all sort of like left, like they just wandered off. One was a male, and so that'll probably be a story for part 2. And the other just went somewhere. We didn't know. We were like, I don't know, if a bird or like an owl or something got it or what, but Kitty remained. she remained. I think she survived even a move, because I think we had her when we had an apartment when she was younger, and then when we actually moved into our house. But gonna end it on the reason. End it on are you a cat or dog person, referring to personalities. And we could probably pick that up and I'll probably draw some more. I'll probably draw a dog on that. But I think I have more of a cat's personality. I think because of cats are very solitary animals. And even if we go outside the realm of domesticated, when you think, like lions, they're really the only ones that have a pride and stuff like that. But beyond that, usually cats are very solitary animals, and so. And that's how I am, for the most part. Very introverted, and yeah, I'm just, I just do my own thing. Very, very independent. Almost to a fault. But so I think sometimes that just suits. This is a horrible dog. But it just suits, I think, everyone, differently in that sense. So, but I'm gonna have to look at some dog and animal photos before. As my 4-year-old. Okay, you can put it up. You can turn it off and you can put it up. You close the door back, please. Okay. You would. Maybe later. You can draw on it later. Okay. That's my 4-year-old Levi. Yes, when I'm done. Couple minutes. He likes to draw on this tablet on my Wacom. But anyway, thanks so much for watching and enduring these horrific. This one's not too bad, but I gotta work on that anatomy. But I just need to. I'm not trying to get perfect anatomy, anything like that. I just need to get some references, some good references, and so that way I'm not drawing these horrific depictions. So of just beautiful animals, but yeah. So yeah, man. Thanks for watching. We'll pick up in part 2. I really enjoyed this episode. Just I felt like it could have gone on for a couple hours easy. So, but and potentially when I have more time, I'm able to when we move and I have high speed internet, and so I'm able to download and and compress these files within a reasonable time. All that improve the length of the episodes. But thanks, guys, for listening and watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's get a subscriber count up. Let's get it up to like 10 subscribers, and let's get about 7 likes. And be sure to go to my Patreon page. That's patreon.com/MichelO'Lully. That's where you can support what I do, and it will enable me to have time to do more. And you can visit my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/MichelO'Comics. Also my website, it's MichelO'Lully.com. That's where you'll find the curation of all my work, even little samples of my original paintings. And I think that's all. Yeah, Instagram as well. And that's at MichelO'Lully. So thanks again for listening. Please be sure to share the video. Be sure to hit that like button. And if you dislike it, hit it too, and maybe say why. And share your comments. What's your preference? Your cats or dogs? Why? And perhaps you will want to share your personalities. We'll have to hit the personality on dogs in part 2, so I'll make a note of that, so we don't want to leave that out. Thanks again so much. Have a great afternoon, evening, morning, night. Grace and peace.